winter. This campaign is brought to you by befm, 부산영어방송.
안녕하세요. 배우 문지은입니다. 우리 사회에는 일을 할 수 있어도 사회에 나아갈 기회조차 얻지 못하는 발달장애인이 있습니다. 그 여정에 함께하는 위드 슬로우 스타터 캠페인을 시작합니다. 더 많은 첫걸음이 시작될 수 있도록 발달장애인의 출발을 응원해주세요. 공익광고 협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
South Korea is now officially a super age society where over 20% of the population is 65 years of age or older. You know, we've known that was coming, but the numbers are still somewhat astounding. But despite this having been a near certainty for years now, the country is still unprepared socially and economically for this demographic change. From pension reforms to extending the age of retirement, the country as a whole has barely made a dent in these issues, and time is certainly not on our side. I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Friday, December 27th on befm, 부산영어방송. Good morning, everybody. You know, for real, we need to get a mic on our producer, like off air. She said it's unbelievable that it is indeed the final Friday of the year. I can't really say what she really said because then I would be fired. But anyhow, TGIF, it is Friday. And another thing that is official, 1/5 of South Korea's population is 65 or older, which makes the entire country a super-aged society, 초고령 사회. The ratio of senior citizens in the country has been rapidly growing from just 10% in 2008, growing at a rate of 1% every other year until 2019, at which point we entered into an aged society, into that territory. And there are some regional discrepancies, with Cheonnam being the oldest, with 27% of its population officially being senior citizens. And we have Busan, our city, also showing a fairly high senior population rate at just under 24%. Sejong was the youngest city, with 11.5% of its population being 65 or older. And hitting this milestone means that the country is in urgent need of fundamental and systematic responses, a point that many experts have pointed out and have urged for years. And so one such issue is extending the legal retirement age of 60 to 65. And theoretically, this is necessary as there is a significant gap between when a person retires at the age of 60 versus, when that person starts receiving his or her pension at the age of 65. I mean, what are you going to do for 5 years? And with the population getting older, concerns for production and labor are growing. But this isn't a simple matter, as it would inevitably lead to higher costs for corporations to pay for these older workers. And these senior positions do tend to have higher salaries than those entry positions. This also means that extending retirement may take away opportunities for new hires. So the Human Rights Commission has therefore said that the government's proactive senior workers' wage support needs to happen alongside retirement age extensions. So once again, not an easy issue. But we have hit an official deadline for these demographic tasks. All right, let's turn to our text topic. Here we go. All right, we are continuing our own list of the best of 2024. So yesterday it was all about music. Today we are going to turn our attention to the best movies TV shows from 2024. So, I mean, this is like such an interesting way, I think, to look back because that'll really show, I guess, what we focused on, what really kind of piqued our interest in 2024. And not just, your best movies, like maybe even like personally, what was like the best moment for you? How about that? We'll make it real broad today. The best moment of 2024, which might include, your best shows or movies, but your best moment of 2024. Maybe some of you got engaged. Maybe you got married. Maybe you're celebrating, I don't know, your umpteenth wedding anniversary, and that was so special, right? Yes, I'm kidding. 자, 저는 이 순간이 2024년도의 최고였다. 뭘까요? Plus, of course, any best movies, shows as well. But, I want to focus on the personal, your best moment of 2024. So let's think about that. You can send in your messages to BFM's live stream live chat on YouTube. So go to the YouTube platform, search for BEFM or 부산영어방송, and you can subscribe. Once you find our channel, click on that. And then you can log in to chat away with our other waivers. Also, on your phone, pound 9050 샵 9050. That's going to cost you 101. You can also reach me for free on our KakaoTalk channel. And so that is very simple to do. Search for BEFM also on Kakao and then add us as a friend first and you can send in your messages, your photos as well. So if you want to send in your photographic proof also of your best moment of 2024, we'll take those too. The ways you can listen to us, so many different ways. If you're in Busan, listening on the radio, 90.5 or 103.3 FM. And once again, we're streaming live on YouTube, but you can also watch again at your leisure. You can also download our app, the BEFM app, simple to do, it's free, or the Patbang app. So our program is available on both apps. Looking ahead to our morning together, what do we have? So we have Vasana for What in the World. We have Casey for Foreign Press Highlights. And then our special interview. So yesterday was the legal review for 2024. Today we're going to take an economic look at everything that happened in 2024 and also things that we can look forward to in 2025. So that's what we're going to be heading into, and I'll be back with today's headlines. It is now time for today's headlines, and it's now 7:07. I was so excited. DP submits bill to impeaching acting President Han. The main opposition Democratic Party, or DP, submitted an impeachment motion against acting President Han Duck-soo upon his refusal to appoint Constitutional Court justices. CIO to summon Yoon for questioning for third time. The Corruption Investigation Office for High-Ranking Officials, or CIO, yesterday summoned President Yoon Suk Yeol to appear for questioning this Sunday over his martial law declaration. National Assembly downgrades AI textbooks. The Parliament yesterday voted to utilize artificial intelligence, or AI-generated textbooks, as educational materials rather than textbooks. Supreme Court overturns sentences for toxic humidifier cases. The Supreme Court yesterday ordered a retrial for two former CEOs of SK Chemical and Aekyung Industrial and the toxic humidifier disinfectants that resulted in illness and death of customers. Russian anti-aircraft system may have struck Azerbaijan Airlines plane. A U.S. official said there were early indications that a Russian anti-aircraft system may have struck the Azerbaijan Airlines plane, causing the crash that killed 38 people on Christmas Day in Kazakhstan. And these are today's headlines. to check in with Sue this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Yay. It felt like a Monday yesterday.
Yes.
I have to admit, and especially with, our producer, she was out of the office. Everybody was wondering, where is she? And I got excited and I messed up with the news because people were like so happy she's back. So indeed. Hey, best moment of 2024 for you, like personally, what was it?
There are two. First one is when I moved out of my family's home and got my own place.
Yay. Yes, freedom. And then what else?
And when I got a call from our producer saying that I got a job here.
Really?
Yeah, that was really pleasant surprise. Yeah.
Yay. So we're glad that, of course, you're on board with us. We're going to dive into our first bit of Busan Updates. First news, the domestic and international travel markets are facing a decline, signaling what they're calling a travel ice age, right?
Yes. According to the November domestic and overseas travel trends report released by Consumer Insight, the decline was shown in travel planning, spending, and duration. In domestic travel trends, interest in domestic travel destinations also declined across 6 major regions like Gangwon, Seoul capital area, Gyeongsang, Chungcheong, Jeolla, and Jeju.
Yes.
So for Busan, it recorded the steepest decline among Korea's 16 provinces and metropolitan cities. The region saw an 8.9 percentage point drop in interest compared to the same period last year. Contributing factors to this downturn are the global economic slowdown, weakened consumer sentiment, and high exchange rates. So in this challenging environment, the travel industry is shifting toward shorter, low-cost trips to adapt to changing consumer behavior.
I see. So this is why, obviously, there's a decline in the market. So thanks for going over that. Next up, let's talk about this. Local farmers of Daejeon tomatoes, a specialty from Busan's Gangso district. I think they're also called like 짭짜리, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the common name. They apparently are facing, some production and market challenges due to the record rainfall in September. So how has this situation affected the farmers?
Not in a good way. So the current market price has increased by around 30% compared to the same period last year. The reason is that greenhouses were damaged by the flood in September.
Yes.
Initial harvest and shipment got delayed, and this resulted in a supply shortage, driving up distribution prices. However, this year, because of the flooding, most of the farms transplanted at the same time. So transplanting means moving seedlings from a nursery bed into their final location in the field.
Okay.
This will overlap their harvests, potentially saturating the market and causing a sharp drop in price after the recent increase due to supply shortages.
I see. And so how did the district support the farmers financially?
So Gangso district distributed agricultural disaster recovery grants to affected farms in the region. Excuse me. Despite this, the farmers think these funds are not enough. Some argue that the disaster recovery funds should instead be classified as compensation for damages. They argue this because they allege that the district has failed to follow flood prevention protocols such as timely water drainage, and not closing floodgates on time worsened the flood damage.
I see. Well, I hope that, the local authorities and the farmers, they can work together to stabilize the production, because who doesn't like these, these Daejeon 짭짜리 tomatoes, right? Yes. Very popular. All right, let's move on and talk about our next item. Busan National University, PNU, announced the development of a groundbreaking AI-based diagnostic technology, and this is for atypical Parkinson's syndrome, correct?
Yes. So thanks to the collaboration with the Department of Information and Computer Engineering led by Professor Kam Jin-gyu and the Brain and Nerve Center of Busan National University Hospital led by Professor Lee Jae-yeok.
Okay.
This technology was achieved with high accuracy, even with limited data. First of all, Parkinson's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative disorder that primarily affects movement. So it occurs when nerve cells in the specific brain area degenerate or die. And atypical Parkinson's syndrome, 비정형 파킨슨 증후군, is a rare neurological disorder that shares some symptoms with Parkinson's disease, but differs in their underlying causes, progression, and treatment.
Ah, okay.
And due to the rarity of these diseases, there is a lack of sufficient image data, which pose the challenge for traditional AI-based diagnostic technologies.
Yes.
However, the newly developed system overcomes this limitation, and it achieves a diagnostic accuracy up to 94%. So this outperforms the traditional methods.
Oh, well, that sounds really amazing. The fact that it's so accurate, and hopefully it will improve the patient outcomes as well. Thanks for sharing that information. All right, lastly, let's get to this. Recent reports indicate that norovirus infections here in Busan have been steadily increasing for 4 consecutive weeks.
Yes, norovirus is often referred to as the stomach bug or stomach flu. The infections typically occur between November and April during the winter and spring months. However, there is no vaccine for the virus. So maintaining personal hygiene, such as washing hands with soap, is really important preventive measure. In Busan last year, 92% of the norovirus infections occurred during this time period.
Yes. So definitely this is of concern. But tell us more about the infection route and what the symptoms are.
So the infection route of norovirus is mainly through consuming contaminated water or food, or having contact with infected people's secretions or person-to-person transmission. Once infected, people can experience vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, chills, and fever. And these symptoms typically start within 12 to 48 hours. Generally, patients recover within 2 to 3 days. Individuals aged 65 and older, children under 5, and those with weakened immune systems are at high risk.
Yes.
And separation is a key prevention as well. If people are infected, it is advised not to return to schools or workplaces for at least 48 to 72 hours. And any infected spaces and contaminated objects should be disinfected with a cloth soaked in detergent solution, and while wearing gloves and a mask.
Well, of course, this is something that we don't want to come down with norovirus, so let's be careful. And thanks for giving us all the details of that. And we'll check in with you on Monday. Thank you, Sue.
Okay, thank you, Catherine.
All right, now it's time for our traffic and weather. It's now time for our traffic and weather at 7:17 on this Friday morning. There was an accident on Dongso Overpass going away from the city on the Seoul-Busan Nakdonggang Bridge. Also, there's congestion on Nakdong-Damno from Myeongji Ramp to Cheongyangsa Ogui intersection. There's also some backup on Luno Samsungdaero from Myeongho intersection to Shino Bridge right now. As for the weather, it's a cold one. Compared to yesterday, it was really nice. Today, right now, -1 degree Celsius under clear skies. The daytime high is only going to go up to 6 degrees. The real field temperatures are about 3 degrees colder due to the wind chill. And there is a dry weather special alert in effect in Busan, even colder across the country, with heavy snow across Jeolla and Jeju. Looking ahead to the weekend, tomorrow, you can expect a low of -2 and a high of 5. And on Sunday, slightly warmer. So 0 is what we're looking at for a low and a high of 9. Basically clear and cooled on both days. And this was your traffic and weather.
Are you an early bird? Are you up to date on the news? Are you a trendsetter? For all of the biggest issues from Busan to the world and useful information you need, right here on Morning Wave in Busan.
right, it's time for News Digest. We have Haley here. She made her announcement.
You heard
with
me
a-
first. Now I'm here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, it's very odd. It's only when you come in.
It is. I'm like, am I even allowed door opener? Just
I don't
so
know.
loud in general.
Because like when
that
we
I
closed it
opened
earlier, it wasn't that loud. 고수님이 WD가 성능을 다 했나 봐요. 오늘 한 번 더 뿌리시겠는데요?
Just need to spray it and then come in. Every
Yes,
single morning.
every single day.
Yeah.
We're working on it. The technician is in Seoul. It takes a long time for him to get down. So just giving you the details and saying like, chop, hurry, team, engineering team. Yes, let's get him down here. All right. So let's talk about favorite dramas, TV drama, movies, but also your favorite like moment of 2024.
I've been, for the past, 5 minutes, I've
Yes.
been like racking my brain. Like, what's my favorite moment? I didn't have like a big moment
Yes.
because, I've had this job for however many years, my other job for however many years. So I didn't get like a job call. But I think I've just had a consistently good year. I've just been like, I was
It's
looking.
been your year.
Yeah, it's just like nothing amazing, but just really good.
Yeah.
I've had a fun summer. I'm having a fun winter. Yeah.
Ask me.
What was your best moment of the year?
When I interviewed Edward Lee.
Oh well, no.
I mean, professionally.
when we the moment of like
We booked him.
was when we got the message
The
on
DM.
social media that she sent on her personal account, and she screamed, and I was like, "Did you find a cockroach in the editing room?"
Yes, I
and
did.
Yeah. And
so that was,
professionally,
that was
a huge
that was
moment.
a coup.
Yes.
Well, we're going to dive into our news. Yesterday was the deadline for acting president Han Duck-soo to appoint the 3 remaining Constitutional Court justices. He did not. So the reasoning behind this, did he give us any reasons?
He did. So he convened an urgent public address and a press conference where he called for political agreement. So 2 things. This is basically a flat rejection of the opposition's calls and basically an ultimatum for him to appoint these justices.
Yes.
But according to Han, he said acting president, so meaning the 권한대행, they must commit himself, in this case, he, to stable governance and state affairs to get our country over the current crisis.
Yes.
But at the same time, refrain from some serious rights reserved for the president, which he saw including appointing justices. So he said if he must exercise these rights, then according to constitutional history and precedents, they dictate that there be bipartisan agreement. So basically for him to go over what he sees as the boundaries of his rights as acting president, there needs to be bipartisan agreement from the legislature.
Yes.
However, this is in direct contrast to the Supreme Court's ruling, or rather an assessment just a couple days or a day before, which said that an acting president can appoint Supreme Court justices.
Yeah, so the DP said that it will vote on his impeachment today. So how will this unfold?
Right. So this is actually the first ever impeachment vote on an acting president. So the People Power Party and the Democratic Party, ruling and opposition, they are torn on the procedures, especially how many votes it'll take. Because, all right, so listen carefully.
Yes.
Is he an acting president or is he an acting president?
So what's the emphasis?
All right, so let's
Okay.
get to that. So
Yeah.
for the ruling party side, they're viewing Han as the acting president, emphasis on the president part, because in order to impeach a president, we know this by now,
Yes.
2/3 majority, so 200 votes out of the 300.
Yes.
However, the Democratic Party and the rest of the opposition, they're emphasizing the acting part, acting president, and basically Han is the prime minister. So as a cabinet member, then it's a simple majority, half plus 151 votes, which the DP just by itself has.
Yes. Huge difference.
Right, so huge difference. By the way, if he is impeached, so
Yes.
then who becomes the acting president? In this case, it'll be the vice prime minister and the economy minister, Choi Sang-mok. However, there is an issue with that because Choi is also implicated in the martial law declaration. So he may be subject of police or the CIO investigation.
Right.
And then down that line, then it's the education minister, also vice prime minister, Lee Ju-ho. Interestingly,
Yes.
unexpected. Third in line right now is Science and ICT Minister Yoo Sang-im, and it's not really a major ministry as one might think.
Yes.
But this was a major change 20 years ago in 2004 under then Nomuhyun administration, which boosted the science ministry given its increasing importance.
Yes.
And made that position vice prime minister as well. Then it goes to foreign minister Cho Tae-yeol for the top 5 in the line of succession.
Wow. So once again, which setting precedents, right? However you want to read it, the acting president or acting president. And by the way, today also is the first day of President Yoon Suk Yeol's impeachment trial at the Constitutional Court with pre-trial hearings. So walk us through what will happen today.
Right. So pre-trial hearings, these are when the two sides, so the legal counsel for two sides of the National Assembly and the president, they present their basic positions and also how they seek to prove these positions. Also, the scheduling for future trial dates gets settled here.
Yes.
So it is expected that there will be 2 to 3 such pre-trial sessions before the actual trials begin. We haven't really heard anything from President Yoon's side, including who will be on his legal counsel.
Yes.
However, for the National Assembly's impeachment committee, they've requested 10 witnesses, including former Defense Minister Kim Yong-hyun and the former Defense Intelligence Command, the DIC chief Do Sang-won, and others currently booked as suspects in the martial law imposition.
Yes, indeed. So, of course, we'll have more for our waivers out there probably on Monday. All right, next. So, we talk about work-life balance all the time, but how do the country's cities rank when it comes to what about?
Right, so we're going to go straight to the top. Sejong. Sejong City had the best work-life balance, followed by Incheon and Daejeon. And if you're wondering where's Busan,
Yes.
All right, wait a little longer.
Okay.
So this is according to the Ministry of Employment and Labor's index that measures work-life balance. So how many relevant institutions are there in the city or province, and what are the local government's interest levels, what policies are there, and etc.
Yes.
So Sejong, for its part, had the country's highest number of public childcare centers and also the highest ratio of workers, and this is important, in SMEs, 중소기업, that use their childcare reduced working hours. So why that's important is that we usually see those in public institutions
Yes.
and major corporations, but it's very much prevalent there. Overall, across the country, though, a bit of good news, we did see all cities and provinces working less, fewer working hours. However, interestingly, Seoul and Busan, there we are. We used to vie for the top spot, kind of going neck and neck, 1 and 2, dropped to the smack middle of the list. The reason is because these top cities had relatively lower scores on the attention or care from local governments over work-life balance promotions and relevant training.
I see.
But bit of good news, there's a new category, the category of utilizing government-certified domestic services, 정부 인증 가사 서비스 활성화. Seoul and Busan received full marks, although this shows that these services are then therefore more geared towards larger cities.
It does seem that way. Well, thank you for going over kind of the report card for work-life balance. All right, listeners, we've been covering the Bitcoin, the rally, for some time now, but this does raise the question, how prevalent is crypto investment in South Korea?
I think we've talked about this. You and
Off-air.
I don't.
Yes, we don't.
But I don't know. I just don't know how. That's a problem. But
Yes.
how many people do you know that do? Like in your personal circle?
In my personal circle, one who openly talks about it.
Right. So there,
Just
at least
one.
we know, right?
I know one person.
1 in 3.
1 in 3?
1 in 3. 33.333 forever percent. So 1 in 3 South Koreans have investments in cryptocurrency.
Really?
And an average amount of 6.5 million won, 650만 won. But I mean, average is always tricky because there could be someone who has invested 1 billion won.
Yes.
And that raises the average. But in any case, this is a credible source, the Bank of Korea, which for the first time released the figures on cryptocurrency investment.
Okay.
And this is from the end of November. There were 15.59 million crypto accounts across the 5 platforms in South Korea. But this does mean that one person can own multiple accounts and they all get factored in.
I see.
But we did see a huge increase in investors last month, which also, what happened last month? The U.S. elections and Donald Trump, who has been very pro-crypto recently.
Yes.
This is also evident through how much money, went into the crypto market. So crypto holdings, just earlier this year, they've always lingered around 5 trillion won across the country, but in November, tripled. 15 trillion won. It's about the same amount that went into the top two stock markets, Kospi and Kosdaq, and that was from the month of November.
Yes.
So Democratic Party lawmaker Im Kwang-hyun, who released the figures, said that with this massive increase, though, there needs to be full-fledged preparation on the government's level to increase stability in the crypto market and protect users' rights.
Yes. Well, crypto obviously is one asset that, is seeing no shortage of demand, but there's another asset that has seen a significant decline in demand. So we're talking about diamonds.
Right. Marilyn Monroe famously said, diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Are they not?
Maybe not.
Really?
Yeah, maybe they've dropped to, just acquaintances.
So a girl's best friend, crypto?
Maybe.
Gold?
Hey, if you want to gift me, I don't know who, but you
generally
universe
speaking.
wants
Yes.
to. But yeah, I'd rather take one bit thing than a diamond.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, if you think
Sorry,
about it.
we got excited.
Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. We're not promoting anything. But diamond backstock. So basically diamonds that are sitting in the warehouses, not being sold, reached $2 billion worth or 2.9 trillion won, and that is the highest since 2008. But then again, 2008 global financial crisis. Right now, we're not thriving economically as a world. So pretty similar parallels. But one of the world's largest diamond miners and manufacturers, De Beers, their CEO Al Cook said that this year was not a good year for diamond gemstones, and that's putting it mildly.
Okay.
So demand for diamonds, they began going down during the COVID years. I guess people just weren't getting engaged
or married
as quickly.
Yes.
That prompted the company, De Beers, to cut 20% of its production and even lower prices. And its rivals, so they vie for the top spot, Russia's Alrosa.
Yes.
They've also been hit by sanctions against Russia.
So what's the reason behind the decrease in demand?
All right, so let's look at the two top markets, China and the U.S.
Okay.
So in China, people just are not getting married.
Yes.
Kind of a similar situation to Korea.
Yes.
The world's second most populous country. They've been seeing steep drops in marriage rates, thus decreases in diamond sales.
Sure.
And then in the U.S., lab-grown diamonds. Right? Artificial lab-grown diamonds, they've been gaining huge popularity. There's this saying, you don't have to agree to it, but was it 2 months' salary needs to go into
That was kind of
the
like the
engagement
old
ring
adage, right?
Right, but then now you can get the same size for significantly less. So the U.S. is the world's biggest diamond market, and that's been flooded with cheaper lab alternatives.
Well,
yeah.
Diamonds have always been kind of controversial. The whole idea of blood diamonds.
Yeah. Right.
So, well, thank you for going over all the news, and we'll check in with you in hour number 2. Thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
And with that, it's time to get to our first song. Are you ready? Because it's 불금. We have 불타오르네 by BTS as requested by Michael Kim.
불타오르네.
괜찮아. Everybody say la 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 la. Say la 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 la. 소리 들어, 소리 질러, burn it up.
불타오르네.
전부 다 태울 것 같이 hey, turn it up 새벽이 다갈 때까지 그냥 살아도 보여 우린 저기에 그만하는 널 원수적일래 수적거려 난 사람인데 So what 네 멋대로 살아 네 거야 지지 좀 말아 저도 괜찮아 Everybody say la 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 Say la 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 소리 들어 소리 질러 burn it up 불타오르네
용서해줄게.
왜 용서받아야 돼요? 해줘야 돼요? As our producer says, yes. Welcome back, everybody. It is, of course, Friday. And today we're kind of taking a retrospective look back on the year 2024. Whether it's, your favorite movies and TV shows, and also your kind of personal moment, the best moment of 2024. Maybe it's not just your personal moment. It can be any moment of 2024 you thought like, wow, this is really, really good. So some of you have been texting in regarding this. And I saw Michael's, he was, okay. Well, Benny says that, when he started, okay, sorry. I'm going to go back to Michael. I changed my, okay. 올해 3월 휴직 들어온 게 2024년 제 인생에 있어서 큰 휴식을 할 수 있는 전환점이 된 것 같습니다. 그리고 쉬면서 우연히 BFM을 알게 되어서 loyal listener가 된 것도 매우 뿌듯합니다. Oh, so this past March, he actually took a very long vacation, a holiday, and it was kind of like a turning point for him, he says, personally. And while he was taking a break from whatever he does, he found BFM just perchance, coincidentally, and that he has become a loyal listener. So, well, however which way you found us, I'm so glad that you did, because we thoroughly enjoy your comments and how you're so supportive of the show and of all the programming as well. And for me, this year, there have been so many ups and downs, but mostly ups. It's been a good year. And definitely with the listenership, with you guys on board with us, being so supportive. And for those who were wondering, like, which show is number one amongst the listeners? I mean, if I had to do a little bragging, just a little, yes, you guys made it the number one listenership-wise. It was the number one show. So thank you for that. So I do want to look back fondly on this year. But now we're going to get to Cat Speak for today. It's time for Cat's Pick for today. I know Christmas has come and gone. However, I saw this clip and I wanted to kind of highlight how the holidays were and are still being celebrated around the world. So here's a clip from CBS News.
We take you on a journey across the globe to witness how the holiday season is being celebrated in remarkable and heartfelt ways. Today marks a rare intersection of two major holidays. For the first time since 2005, Christmas Day is also the first night of Hanukkah. In Vatican City, thousands gathered in a chilly St. Peter's Square to hear Pope Francis's Christmas Day message and kick off the 2025 Jubilee, expected to bring more than 30 million visitors to Rome over the next year. In Kyiv, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky lit the first candle of Hanukkah with several visiting rabbis, honoring resilience and unity in a country still at war with Russia. A Christmas Mass was held at the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris, the first since a devastating fire destroyed much of it 5 years ago. In the UK, King Charles, who was treated for cancer, delivered his annual Christmas speech from a former hospital chapel.
I offer special heartfelt thanks to the selfless doctors and nurses who this year have supported me and other members of my family.
And 250 miles above Earth, astronaut Sonny Williams and Butch Wilmore sent a Christmas message. They've been stuck at the International Space Station for over 6 months due to problems with their capsule, designed to bring them home.
It's a great time of year up here. We get to spend it with all of our family up on the International Space Station. There's 7 of us up here, and so we're going to get to enjoy company together.
So as you heard, and for those of you viewing on YouTube, our channel, however you spend the holidays, I think we should definitely be grateful for the people around us, the people who kind of prop us up. So I wanted to give a shout out to everybody out there. And this was Cat's Pick for today.
Stay tuned. You're listening to Morning Wave in Busan.
We have Masana in the house, in case you didn't realize. So
I'm
for
Casey.
the next
I'm Casey.
4 weeks, Vasana's going to be joining us in hour number 1. This is temporary, but
Unless Casey likes to sleep in.
피디님 팔 좀 그만해주세요. It's like so distracting. I feel like because I see her at the corner of my eye, and I think she's like signaling me. 저 못자 사인 보내주시는
No,
것
she's
같아요.
doing a dance.
I know, but she always does like her right, but I feel like she's signaling me, and then I get nervous.
Oh, yeah?
She's not 50, 근데 50견인 것 같아요. She's not 50. She's not anywhere close to 50. 네, 30견.
We should have a camera on her. Where's that camera? Let's
근데
point it
진짜
somewhere
계속,
else.
아니 옆에서 볼 때 자꾸 나한테 뭐 급하게 사인하는 것 같아서.
Do a little
like I'm
dance.
saying something wrong. 너무 불안해요. 매일매일. Okay.
But who signals with their shoulder?
I don't know. This is what she does. Like, is she dancing? I don't know. But hey, text topic for today.
Oh, what's the text topic?
Oh, so you can tell us about your favorite. I know you're into K-dramas, right? So,
Yeah.
favorite drama or movie, or just your personal, or just the best moment of 2024.
Oh, 2024?
Yes.
I was just talking to Haley, and
Yes.
they released Squid Game late yesterday.
So,
I'm a little tired because somebody watched the whole series last
the
night.
whole thing. I only got to episode 3.
Oh, yeah.
And then I think I have to rewind because I fell asleep towards the
Yeah,
end.
I think I kind of fell asleep and woke up at the last. So
No spoilers.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Right.
I must say though that it can probably survive on its own without having to watch the first one.
Right.
You're able to watch it and you can guess, but it's much better if you watch the first one so you can see. But the second one, yeah, it's good. I liked it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So we'll just leave it at that.
Favorite drama of the year? Is sports included?
Drama? Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
sports are dramas.
Yeah. Whoa.
The All Blacks losing. That's the
we're
New
talking about
Zealand.
rugby, right?
Yeah, rugby. Yeah.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah, I have to watch out about my New Zealand team's name in this day and age.
yes. We're getting comments for you saying QT.
Oh no.
Vasan한테 보내는 거예요? 아니죠? So cute, man.
Thank you. Yeah, it's I'm
우리 waivers. You're
Casey
you were
with a
doing
10.
the little trying to 귀여운 척 하고 있었잖아.
I didn't. Did I do that this morning?
Yes.
I did.
Are you okay? It was like literally 3 minutes ago.
It was because I couldn't hear the music. I was pretending to have headphones. This is my headphones.
네. 헤드폰도 안 끼고 BG 제가 왜
I
춤
wasn't
안
doing this.
추냐고.
Oh, that's what they thought I was
They
doing.
thought.
Oh,
Okay, so let's just leave it at that.
Yes, let's do it.
What do you have for us?
Wacky words of this year.
Oh, I like.
Yeah, so every year, dictionaries, educational institutions,
Yes.
basically any kind of website puts out words what they think
Yes.
are the most used words or the most important used words of the year.
Sure.
So this year, however, many websites could not choose just one. So they chose a few of them.
Sure.
So I'm going to give you a lot of words this morning.
Okay.
Okay, Cambridge went all philosophical with manifest.
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 Oh,
Manifest means to reveal, to show. So there's a lot of things that were manifested this year.
Yes.
In most countries. Collins picked brat.
Brat.
Yeah. So those of you who don't know what brat is,
Like
it's
the one I have at home?
Oh, you don't have brats. You
Yeah,
have
I'm just
lovely children.
They are.
Yeah.
I can't complain.
No, if they are brats, it's
Right.
because of. Sorry.
They take after me.
Yes, but anyway, inspired by neighbors' kids during sugar-fueled tantrums, and I'm sure you've seen them all on various websites on
Yes.
little 30-second tantrums of buy me this, 사줘. Here's another cute one.
Yes, yes.
Merriam-Webster went with polarization.
Yes, that's right.
Because nothing screams 2024 like a country arguing over a lot of things. Including pineapple belonging on a pizza.
Let's ask our waivers.
Oh, gosh.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
That's a strong no from me. That's a strong no. It belongs on many things, and I eat pineapple because I read a paper on it. I'm reading a lot of papers.
You read a paper on pineapples. Okay.
It's good for you. Pineapple is good, very good
Obviously,
for you.
a lot of vitamin C.
Yeah, lots of other things as well, and it's
Yes.
good brain food. Okay, the real showstopper here.
Yes.
Australia's Macquarie Dictionary. I'm going to say it really fast because it sounds a little rude. They crown enshittification.
Did you just curse on air?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So I was going to say.
It means something
What does it
that
mean?
becomes really bad. Yeah. So it starts good and then goes
and it
bad.
goes downhill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it sounds, yeah. So that's right, folks. 2024, officially the year we gave up on pretending to be polite. So when somebody started off good and then went bad, or something started off like a lot of politicians when they go into power.
Yes.
I'm not going to go into detail here. And then they end up being bad.
We're getting some votes on the pineapple.
On the pineapple? Let's go.
재봉리. Oh, how are you, 재봉님? Why not? Pineapple on pizza. I like it. And then we have Michael saying, 전 Hawaiian style pizza 좋아합니다. Meaning, yes, on the pineapple. Tori님 says, pineapple 안 돼, 달아요. She says it's too sweet.
Oh, yeah?
Pineapple.
Okay.
So what's your rule? No fruit on pizza?
Well, they also, I mean, in Korea you have everything on a pizza, and so I was.
That's
going,
true.
I also read a paper on this one.
On a paper on pizza.
Every country has their own pizza because
Yes.
you have bread, you spread
That's
bread out,
true.
and then
Yeah,
you
it
put
is.
things on it.
What's your favorite then? Obviously, it's not the.
No,
the-
it's just cheese or cheese and pepperoni.
Yeah, my
That's
family
it.
loves pepperoni. I kind of like the margarita. There's,
Yeah.
the basic pizza sauce, cheese, and then the basil.
Yes,
Basil is
I
key.
hear. Lots of different cheeses
Yes.
as well. If you put different types
Right.
of cheese on it, that gives it a lot
Exactly.
of different flavors as well.
But of course, we're not talking about pizza.
No.
What other words do you have for us?
Ampul aus.
What?
Ampul aus.
Is
That's
that-
not English.
Okay, I was going to say.
That's Germans.
What does it
so the
mean?
Germans chose that. It means traffic light off.
Oh,
So it refers to their government coalition. Yes, going to politics again.
Imploding.
To me, it sounds like when you yell at your GPS when it tells you to turn left into a lake. So, so this is a direction that they have. So, ampel aus, geradeaus, aus. I used to learn German. And while Oxford went with brain rot, Oxford went with that one. Fitting nod to our collective social media induced zombification.
I like that. Zombification.
There's a word.
Okay.
I think that was last year's word.
Yes.
But brain rot explains that. You know, when you're walking along with your cell phone, not taking note of anybody around you. But my favorite word is slop.
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 Slop. What is slop?
Slop is kind of like brain rot, basically. So slop is something that's slushy and not solid. So, for example, AI slop. So when you don't like something that has been created by AI, you call it slop.
Oh.
There's another S word that's very familiar.
I was going to say, it's just like the other S word, four-letter word that we can't say.
Yeah, so I might use this one, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. In slopification, I should have said that one. Social media slop.
Yes, yes.
Fast food slop. Lots of slops.
Slop. S-L-O-P.
Yeah.
What else? What else?
Radio slop. Sorry, no. Other gems from this year. There's debank.
Which means?
Getting kicked out of the bank.
Like literally they kick you out of the bank?
Yep.
Why?
For crypto things. No, this is not physically.
Oh, okay,
it's,
okay.
By
like online?
Online.
Okay, okay.
For suspicious crypto things.
Oh.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, cryptocurrency. Do you have
every one of my friends has crypto. And they always tell me, buy crypto. And I am not gone into it.
Oh, really?
I almost bought it when was it? 6 years ago when it was $800. And I think I only had about $1,600 free dollars in my bank. And shall I buy two? And I was like, oh no, I would have had quite a lot of money right now.
Yes.
One more, broligarchy.
With like oligarchy?
Yeah.
And bromance?
Bromance. Yeah. So like Musk and Bezos playing Risk, but not
with real countries.
With real countries.
And, let's get to the last one.
The last one. A lot of people chose this one. I'm sure our viewers will choose this one. Mooding.
Do you guys remember Mooding?
Yeah.
The cutest little, is it a pygmy hippo?
Pygmy hippo.
Yes. And what does it mean?
Bouncy pork.
Does it really mean that?
Yeah, lovely pork. I thought.
But it's so cute.
We did it.
Yes.
Twice, yeah. Anyway, mooding. And now mooding skin is apparently a thing.
Mooding skin?
Yeah. So,
what does that mean?
It
having
gives you
shiny, radiant skin?
Yeah, shiny, radiant skin.
Mooding is cute.
Yeah, so I'm not sure I would call my wife a hippo-skinned person.
Yeah, you don't call your wife a hippo. No, that's a no-no.
So what words have you thought about for this year?
Can't say on air? No, I was kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I don't curse that much, just a little bit. Yes.
Slopification.
Yeah, but I think though, like polarization, that really stood out to me the most.
Yeah.
Because everything and every country's become so polarized.
Yeah.
All right, a few more items. What about some stories, craziest news stories?
Snakes on a plane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did that earlier this year. So on an AirAsia flight from Bangkok to Phuket, they spotted a snake on the overhead storage.
I have a phobia of snakes. Yeah.
Phobia?
Phobia.
Or just scared of them?
No, phobia.
No, phobia?
Like I can't even like in science books, like I can't even look at photos.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I'll leave this conversation clean. Okay, so snakes, snakes on a plane. So they apparently locked it or managed to trap it into a cabin before they landed. So the AirAsia crew is now professional snake handlers.
Yes, and we have time for one more story. You're gonna have to pick and choose.
Another animal one.
Okay,
I thought this one was the cutest.
Yes, which one?
The pandas.
The pandas.
The dogs. They
kind of painted to look like pandas. So the fake pandas.
The fake pandas.
And didn't they later say that they fessed up to it, saying that?
Yeah, they confessed, but only after a few months, and many people complaining about it.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. 3 pages here.
I know. I wish we spent too much time on the pizza.
Oh, we did.
Yes.
Any more replies about the pizza? Let's order some pizza. Are there any pizza parlors open right now?
I don't think so at 7:53.
No, I'm sure there's something. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
I want to wish you a happy new year.
Happy New Year.
Because we'll see you in 2025.
Oh, yes. See you next year.
Bye, Fasana.
Bye-bye.
All right, this is 꽃길만 걷게 해줄게 by Daybreak. Enjoy. I'll be back at 8.
보는 내 눈빛이 심판처럼 잘 숨겨왔었는데 oh yeah 너 때문에 잠도 못 자고 너 때문에 밤새 설레는데 이제는 솔직히 말해 길만 걷게 해줄게 네 맘에 쏙들게 할게 널 알게 된 순간부터 내 머릿속엔 온통 너뿐이야 항상 널 웃게 해줄게 오랫동안 느껴왔어 누구보다 딱딱 떨어지는 떨어지는 우리 딱 알겠어 날 보는 네 눈빛이 혹시 너도 바라고 있던 거야 yeah. 나 때문에 잠 못 들지 마 나 때문에 고민하지도 마 이제는 너만 바라볼게 alright 꽃길만 걷게 해줄게 네 맘에 쏙들게 할게 널 알게 된 순간부터 내 머릿속엔 온통 너뿐이야 항상 널 웃게 해줄게 오랫동안 느껴왔어 누구보다 딱딱 떨어지는 딱딱딱 떨어지는 우리
Your bridge to the world.
부터 부산의 여름을 만끽하는 바다축제, 전 세계 영화인들이 모이는 부산국제영화제와 새로운 시작의 해맞이 축제까지 부산의 축제는 우리의 열정을 가득 담고 있습니다. 바쁜 일상은 잠시 뒤로 하고 특별한 시간을 선물 받는 바로 이곳 부산에서 우리의 삶은 축제가 됩니다. 축제로 하나 되는 부산, 여러분은 어떤 축제를 기다리시나요? 이 캠페인은 대선공익재단과 bfm 부산영어방송이 함께합니다.
혹시 지금 운전 중이신가요? 어린이 교통사고 피해자 수는 지난 3년 평균 약 9만 명. 특히 어린이 보호구역 안전기준이 강화된 이후에도 어린이 보호구역 내 사고는 지속적으로 발생하고 있습니다. 스쿨존에서는 반드시 시속 30km 이하 서행, 스쿨존 내 불법 주정차 금지, 차량 출발 전 앞뒤 좌우 살피는 습관으로 어린이가 안전한 도시를 만듭니다. 참, 운전 중 휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전, 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 아이 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, B&K 부산은행과 함께합니다.
It's a freezing cold winter, so let's be prepared for the cold wave in advance. Please be prepared to protect yourself and your family against the cold wave, which can be fatal for people and can create damages such as pipe bursts, icy roads, and frostbite. Keep the temperature warm for the elderly and young children who are more vulnerable to the cold. When you go outside, dress warm so you don't get frostbite. If you get frostbite, put the affected part of your body in warm water for 30 minutes. Keep the area warm and immediately go see a doctor. Keep water meters and boiler pipes from freezing by insulating them with old clothes or other materials. The roads may be icy, so get winter supplies like snow chains and check your car in advance for antifreeze and other necessities. Frequently check for cold wave-related weather forecast through the TV, radio, and the internet. Please follow these guidelines so that we can have a warm and safe winter. This campaign is brought to you by befm, 부산 영어방송.
The time is now 8 o'clock.
Good morning, Dynamic Busan.
Yeah, you're waking up. Time to shake it up. Tell the world good morning and find out what's going on.
Well, hi there, folks. There's everything from comedy to lively chat to music.
Broadcasting from a room about the size of your closet.
All calls are recorded. What show is this?
Live from Korea's dynamic city, this is Morning Wave in Busan.
I'm sorry, who'd you say you were?
It is now 8 o'clock. This is News Highlights. DP submits bill to impeaching acting President Han. The main opposition Democratic Party, or DP, submitted an impeachment motion against acting President Han Duck-soo upon his refusal to appoint Constitutional Court justices. The opposition-led National Assembly yesterday voted in favor of the 3 Constitutional Court justice nominees, with most lawmakers from the ruling People Power Party, or PPP, boycotting the vote. The DP plans on putting the impeachment motion up for a vote at the plenary session scheduled for today. CIO to summon Yoon for questioning for 3rd time. The Corruption Investigation Office for High-Ranking Officials, or CIO, yesterday summoned President Yoon Suk Yeol to appear for questioning this Sunday over his martial law declaration. This marked the CIO's 3rd summons after Yoon ignored 2 previous requests. The law enforcement typically arrests an arrest warrant after the 3rd attempt. Seeks an arrest warrant, In the meantime, the first pretrial hearing for the impeachment case against President Yoon will begin at the Constitutional Court today. Yoon has failed to submit the necessary documents pertaining to the martial law decree and cabinet minutes. National Assembly downgrades AI textbooks. The Parliament yesterday voted to utilize artificial intelligence, or AI-generated textbooks, as educational materials rather than textbooks. The National Assembly passed an amendment to the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, under which textbooks are limited to printed books and ebooks, while AI-generated learning contents are categorized as supplementary class materials. This suspends the Education Ministry's plan to introduce AI textbooks in select subjects at certain grade levels starting next school year. Education Minister Lee Joo-ho said that he will ask the Parliament to reconsider this decision. Supreme Court overturned sentences for toxic humidifier cases. The Supreme Court yesterday ordered a retrial for two former CEOs of SK Chemical and Aegyung Industrial in the toxic humidifier disinfectants that resulted in illness and death of customers. The Supreme Court ruling it was unclear whether the victims were affected solely by their products or in combination with other disinfectants, and sent the case back to Seoul High Court. The case is one of a series related to a long-running toxic humidifier disinfectant scandal involving 5,691 recognized victims, including 1,262 deaths. Russian anti-aircraft system may have struck Azerbaijan Airlines plane. A U.S. official said there were early indications that a Russian anti-aircraft system may have struck the Azerbaijan Airlines plane, causing the crash that killed 38 people on Christmas Day in Kazakhstan. The assertion comes after a Ukrainian national security official and several sources in Azerbaijan claim that the crash was caused by Russian air defense fire. Russian and Kazakhstan officials are both seeking to play down the allegations, urging caution until more information is available. And this was News Highlights. It is time for Wagle, which means Haley's back.
I'm back.
Can you do your broadcast tilted?
Okay, so the camera's tilted. So this is me sitting up straight, and then this is me slightly tilted, and I look straight. I'll sit.
No, you got to go
like
the
this.
other way.
Wait, like this?
Yes, there you go.
But
leaning tower of Haley.
The leaning tower of Haley. Oh my gosh, my goodness.
Somebody must have touched it by accident.
Somebody must have.
Right.
It wasn't me this time. I just creak. I just creak.
You don't touch the cameras.
No, I don't touch the cameras.
Right. All right, we're going to dive into our first Woggle-worthy story. Recently, the city of Daegu unveiled a statue of late President Park Chung-hee. And Park Chung-hee, he is a polarizing figure. And so the reception to this statue, that has also been polarized.
There's that word of the year again, polarization. So
yes.
Public opinion differs on late President Park Chung-hee. So he is credited with leading the country's vast economic development, the so-called phase of the Miracle on the Han River.
Yes.
However, he did rule the country with an iron fist, and whether those, even economically, those 재벌-oriented reforms and initiatives were in the long term good for the country, that's still under debate. And he did, as fact, held his autocratic rule for 16 years until he was assassinated.
Yes.
So when this 3-meter tall statue of President Park was unveiled in Daegu earlier with a roughly 500 million won budget, the response was quite divisive. It really hones in on his kind of economic leader and kind of, the new village movement persona, with him holding, crops and smiling. So a group that has been against his statue and even the glorification of the former president, they wrote messages. It was vandalism on the base of the statue with chalk, which were all erased before the unveiling ceremony.
Yes, perhaps the city, though, is fearing bigger vandalism attempts as it has launched apparently an all-night long guard system.
Right. So the city has ordered its administrative department's officials to basically stand or sit guard and protect the statue. That order came down on December 24th.
Right.
So that means the first day was Christmas Eve onto Christmas Day. But a union of Daegu City's public officials issued a statement condemning this decision, where basically public officials have to stand nighttime guard from 6 p.m. to 9 a.m. the following morning. It is Daegu. It's quite cold. They are kind of inside. 3 people form a team in a car.
In a car.
But I'm wondering, is the car running all night, which would be horrible pollution.
Yes.
But then if it's not running,
they're going to freeze to death.
Freezing,
Yes.
right. So problematic either way. So the Daegu's Union of Public Officials said, is this the city's Christmas gift to the public officials during a time which should be spent with family?
So once again, Merriam-Webster polarization, that's the word. Moving on, a lot of our listeners probably have experience being on, 당근, the popular secondhand platform, and people sell pretty much anything on this site. Well, sometimes, too surprising, too shocking, right?
Like, is this legal?
Is this real?
I mean, I've seen things like, can you kill a cockroach? Which I'm like, where are you? I can do that. Totally do that. Willing to do that.
Yes.
But then, what if you are offering up an
Just say it.
escort-like service? Yeah. Time spent.
How would we even say that? Because our Korean listeners.
I'm just going to explain. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay.
So according to online communities, they've been posting these screenshots of a post that offered, overnight date. Yeah. So this person who posted it, she's a woman, at least in the photo. In the very revealing photo.
Okay.
She offers...
we're a morning show, so...
It says 1박 2일 데이트권. So a ticket to a date.
Okay.
She offers girlfriend rules in various situations where one might need a partner, including an overnight trip.
Why would you need a partner in an overnight
trip?
Okay.
I don't know. Golf, reunions, etc. And also, this is odd. The price listed was 25,000 won.
This must be a joke.
I'm like, is this like per hour? I mean, that can't be per night. Is this per hour?
Even
or is
per
this,
hour, that's way too low. Is it not?
I don't know.
Is this allowed? Is this legal?
I'm not poking that with a 6-foot-long stick, so don't even get me there.
Okay.
So, she's not explicitly soliciting something specific. It's just offering. So that itself is not illegal, but it's not a company is not illegal.
I've never seen Haley at a loss for words.
Because a family friend told me that they listen to the show in the morning and they have like second grade kids. And I'm like,
they don't know what we're saying.
They don't. I hope not. Please get your kids out of the room. So it's not allowed on the platform. So the platform's terms and conditions say that posting and sending information that is considered lewd, infringement of copyright, and in violation of public morals, virtues, and of course the law may be restricted. So the platform back in 2020 announced that offers or solicitations of inappropriate encounters, including massages, pseudo-sexual acts, sale of just gross alert, used undergarments, and other activities will get one permanently banned. Yeah.
Oh, what is that?
We're just gonna,
We're just gonna go.
We're just gonna. There are some examples of these lewd and inappropriate offers and solicitations. We screen grabbed a couple on our NotTube. So look at your own risk.
People don't click on stuff like this.
Or don't post them.
Yeah, that too. All right, next up, a dead body was found in the wheel well of a plane that landed in Hawaii. So I almost did this one for Cat's Pick.
I figured you. Yeah, it's one of those issues. So a United Airlines flight from Chicago that arrived at the Kaluli airport in Maui on Tuesday local time, they found a body stowed away in one of the main landing gears. So the wheel well is basically the little space above the wheel of the plane. The Maui Police Department confirmed that they are investigating the discovery. So yes, a body was found, but offered no further details. We don't know if there was a ploy involved or was it an accident. Number one, we don't know how this person got up there in the first place because it is only accessible from the outside of the aircraft. The aircraft was a Boeing 787, so this person would have need to have climbed up there. You can't just sneak into the airplane and somehow shimmy down there.
But also, security issues.
Exactly.
Like, how did this person get there?
Exactly. The plane was, presumably on the land.
Tarmac, right?
Yeah. So, and then there are people loading, luggage in and out. So
how did they get there?
Exactly. Big questions to be answered. So this particular case, we don't know anything outside of what I've just told you. But unfortunately, similar tragedies have happened before. And most of them do have to do with people trying to sneak into the country in question. So this storage space of the plane's landing gear, of course, they're highly dangerous because, because of the high altitude, lack of oxygen and, freezing temperatures. And there have been cases, at least one reported each from 2019, 2020, and 2021, where people hiding in these spaces died from lack of oxygen, even one case from falling.
Indeed. So, big mystery, and I certainly hope they get a handle on the situation for the person's safety, but also like how do they get there?
For the passenger safety
exactly.
too. Right.
Yes. All right. So let's get to day 2 of Morning Wave in Busan's Persons of the Year coverage. So yesterday we talked about the late opposition leader, Russian Alexei Navalny. So who do we have on deck for today?
Right. So Persons of the Year. Dun, da, da, da. So, I don't know. Should we have a fanfare? I mean, I'll sing one. It's fine. Yeah. Ta. So 2024. It was a year of many things. But it was a year of sports because we had the Paris Olympics.
That's true.
So I'm going to cheat a little because I have this segment. It's mine. I make up the rules. And I'm going to pick 2 people. So two persons of the year. So we're going to go to Paris. A star was born.
Oh, yes.
Kim Ye-ji, of course. AKA, I don't know, one of the coolest people. Just period.
Yeah.
She seems like I would like to be friends with you. So Kim, well, pun intended, shot to stardom.
Like literally.
Literally, with her silver in the 10-meter air pistol, where she showed off her now very trademark, the chic, seemingly careless expressions. It was before Paris, this clip went viral. She set a world record, and I believe 25-meter pistol, where she set the record and just kind of sighed. That sigh.
I know, and not just that, like so many memes.
Right.
Imitating that pose.
Because if you remember, main character energy
was
an expression that was used quite a bit. Her fans include Elon Musk, who fawned over her. And she's been getting global attention since. NBC picked her as one of the 10 stars of the Paris Olympics. The BBC picked Kim Ye-ji as a top 100 women of the year. In the New York Times, she was one of the 63 most stylish people of the year.
Wow.
She's gotten several ambassador positions with global brands.
That's true. But you mentioned there are 2.
Right.
So who's the other one?
So we're not just picking cool people. So remember the Morning Wave in Busan Persons of the Year. The intent is that these are people who inspired others, who try to do good. So we're going to go to badminton star An Se-young. She used her star status and gold medal winning moment to try to change her field.
Yes.
So literally the moment after she won her Olympic gold in women's badminton singles, in her post-game interview, she spoke out about the national team's problems in them handling her injuries, problems with training system, the Badminton Association's decision-making process, how single stars are also required, almost kind of pushed to play in the doubles as well. And even sponsorships and pay issues.
Yes.
So this created waves, shock waves across not just that sport, but the sports in general. It prompted an audit into the Badminton Association by the Sports Ministry, and they've revealed some results, including embezzlement accusations against the head of the association. So there have been calls for change. So it really takes courage to speak out against a towering organization, one that makes or breaks careers.
That's true.
It literally runs the field you're in. And to use your moment in spotlight to do that definitely makes An Se-young one of the people of the year.
Definitely most talked about, one of the most talked about, that's for sure. Well, we're going to call it a wrap for today, though. So happy it's a Friday.
Yay.
So we'll check in with you on Monday. Thank you, Haley.
Have a great weekend.
All right, and now back to you, the waivers. Here is your updated traffic and weather. It is now 8:17. Here's your update on traffic. There was an accident on Chungjangdaero at Dongcheon Three-Way intersection going towards Hangman Three-Way intersection. So it's causing some backup right now. Also congestion on Jungangdaero from Yangjong intersection to Songgong Three-Way intersection. It's also backed up from Manda Cathedral to Namhae Expressway, the Kupo Nakdonggang Bridge, and also slow looking on Chungnyeoldaero from Minam to Naesong intersection. Right now, it's sitting at 0 under clear skies. The daytime high will go up to just 6 degrees. So much cooler or colder today, especially with the wind chill factor. There is a dry weather special alert in effect over Busan. And across the country, even colder with heavy snow across Jeolla and Jeju. Looking ahead to tomorrow, you can expect a low of -2 degrees Celsius, a high of 5. And on Sunday, a low of 0 and slightly warmer, a high of 9. But basically clear and cold on both days here in Busan. This was your traffic and weather. So here is Benny's request, 보고 싶다 by 김범수.
울고 있는 너의 곁에 상처만 주는 나를 왜 모르고 기다리니 떠나가란 말이야 보고 싶다 보고 싶다 이런 내가 미워질 만큼 울고 싶다 내게 무릎 꿇고 모두 없던 일이 될 수 있다면 미칠 듯 사랑했던 기억이 안 되지만 죽을 만큼 보고 싶다 내가 미워질 만큼 믿고 싶다 옳은 길이라고 너를 위해 떠나야만 한다고 미칠 듯 사랑했던 기억이 죽을 만큼 보고 싶다 죽을 만큼 믿고 싶다
Welcome back, everybody. Before we get into our special interview, so we've been reviewing some of the best dramas, movies, and also your personal or just the best moments of 2024. And some of the responses that I've been getting in terms of like just entertainment, like TV shows or movies, 눈물의 여왕 is a common, response that I've been seeing. So that was definitely one that I think a lot of people enjoyed this year. And then we have Jae-bong Lee. I have to mention him again because I didn't realize that he said he was in the hospital. 병원에 계시다가 I guess he watched the first season of Squid Game is what he's saying. So I hope you're doing well and you're okay. But, I think the fact that you guys are willing to share so much of your personal lives with me and also with other waivers out there, that says a lot about our program, that we feel comfortable enough to share, the highs and lows and all the in-betweens in life. So I feel like, we're a real family. So thank you for that. All right, for now, though, we're going to get to our special interview. This year, South Korea's economic landscape was marked by significant events that shaped its future trajectory. The impeachment of President Yoon Suk Yeol caused political instability, affecting investor confidence and stock market performance. At the same time, growing trade tensions with the United States raised concerns about tariffs and subsidy reductions under President-elect Donald Trump. But, despite these challenges, the Korean economy has shown resilience with measures to stabilize foreign exchange markets and optimistic growth projections for the coming year. And so, the whole thing is this. It's not just like the Korean economy that is affected, but really affecting the entire world economy as well. To tell us more, to school us on what happened in 2024 and maybe also a look ahead to 2025. We have invited our resident expert in economics, Professor Yang Jun-suk, Professor of Economics at the Catholic University of Korea. Hi, welcome back, Professor.
Happy to be here.
Yes. So maybe if you could pinpoint the number one, the most significant economic development or key issue that defined South Korea in the year 2024.
Well, you just mentioned it. I think the biggest news is martial law declaration and the resulting political turmoil. But that didn't really change any trends per se. It just worsened the bad trend that we had for 2024. We had a really disappointing year in a lot of ways for 2024. Remember that in 2023, the growth rate for Korea was only 1.4%. And we were hoping that with increases in exports, we would get a better 2024. And for the first quarter, we did. In the first quarter alone, we had a 1.3% growth rate. So we thought that would lead off a year that was considerably better than last year. But from second quarter onwards, things were really disappointing. We had a negative growth on second quarter, and we had a very slight 0.1% growth in the third quarter. The expected year's growth is right now thought to be about 2%, which is better than last year, but it's less than what we were hoping at the beginning of the year. And then on top of this bad year, we had the martial law declaration and now the political turmoil that went on after it. And it just emphasized it just accelerated the bad trend that we had for the entire year. We had a lackluster stock market because of lackluster profitability of major Korean companies. And that became worse after the martial law. The exchange rates, it was weakening from beginning of the year. It was 1307 on January 1st, if you can remember back that far.
Yes.
But before the martial law declaration, it was hitting right around 1400. And now, yesterday at the close of overnight market, it was 1469. And this just represented all the problems that we had, all the long-term problems that we had, just kept putting the market down. It was acting as a weight on the market. And then we had all the short-term problems. And then on top of that came the martial law declaration and the continuing political turmoil. So the martial law declaration really was basically the biggest news of the year. But again, what it did was accelerate the trend, not introduce anything new.
Yes, definitely. But what about other impactful events aside from the declaration of martial law? Because whether it's politically or economically, I mean, that kind of, took over all the news, for this year. Oh, if we had to look back further, what would you say was also impactful?
Okay, again, it's not good news. It's the so-called Trump risk. It's not clear exactly what Trump administration is going to do because he keeps on changing the numbers almost every time he makes a speech. But if we go on what he said during the presidential campaign, the policies that President Trump will initiate once he takes office is really lot different from what came before. The pillars of Trump's political policies or economic policies are, at least what he said during the campaign, was going to be high tariffs, low corporate taxes, restrictions on illegal and migrant immigration, and he didn't say so explicitly, but probably legal immigration as well for the United States. This, at least in the short term, the biggest problem for Korea is the tariff risk. He's been mentioning 60% tariffs on Chinese imports from China, 10% general tariff on everything, and then perhaps 100% tariffs on automobile imports from Mexico. But as I said, the numbers keep on changing almost every time he makes a speech. On tariffs from China, he's mentioned 100% tariffs as well. On general tariffs, he's gone as high as 20%.
Yes.
And the automobile tariff from he went as high as 200%. And the reason I mentioned automobile tax is that even though he only mentioned tariffs on imports from Mexico for automobiles, it's hard to imagine that he will not raise automobile tariffs on cars from other countries. And then he's mentioned that he might replace U.S. income tax with tariff rates. At back of the envelope calculations means that if he actually wants to try that, it'll mean tariff rates above 60%. So we're not taking that too seriously, but he is saying it. And he's also saying that instead of giving subsidies for Korean companies to build semiconductor factories in the United States, he wants to do it with tariffs. That's going to require semiconductor tariffs above 20%, maybe even above 40%. That's one of the reasons why, even before the martial law, a lot of Korean companies were feeling pessimistic about next year.
Yes.
But then in the longer term, his other policies are probably going to be even more harmful. The reductions in corporate taxes, the restrictions on migration and immigrants, they're expected to raise inflation along with the tariffs. And recently, even though he said that the tariffs would not increase inflation, now he's admitting that it could possibly raise inflation. But economists have been saying that tariffs will increase inflation throughout the summer. But the American public sort of ignored it. Now they seem to be taking it a bit more seriously. The reason I mentioned that this could be a more important problem in the long run is that if the U.S. inflation goes up, chances are U.S. Fed will raise their interest rates. then we'll go back to what we had in the last couple of years, which is a period where U.S. has very high interest rates, and other countries will have to maintain high interest rates as well.
Yes.
And that caused a lot of drag on not only Korean economy, but global economy.
Indeed, indeed. And if we had to kind of give a report card to Korea, how do you think South Korea has managed to address some of these challenges? I know some of the challenges that have popped up have come in like, the second half of the year, but what would you say?
Okay, well, I would give the government sort of a B for recognizing the problem, but not being able to do much about it. In the short term, at the beginning of the year, I mentioned that we wanted higher exports to sort of trickle down and sort of facilitate and invigorate the domestic economy as well. That hasn't happened. In the past, what we saw was if exports went up, then the domestic economy went up as well.
Yes.
But this year, we haven't really seen that. And part of the reason is that very only limited areas of exports went up, mostly semiconductors and automobiles. And especially with semiconductors, even though they take a lot of they take a big chunk out of the GDP for Korea, in terms of labor hired, in terms of investment, it's not really that big a part of the Korean economy. So even though semiconductors did very well and it pushed exports up by something like 8.5% so far in the year, it hasn't really trickled down to the domestic economy. So domestic economy has been facing a serious slowdown and perhaps even a recession. That was before the martial law incident. And then I think the government was very brave to do this. It mentioned the need for a whole bunch of reforms that Korea needs to make if we want to maintain our relatively high growth and we want to join the countries which are more advanced. We're talking about pension reforms, education reforms, labor reforms, regulatory reforms, and the government government should be proud of pointing out the problem, but they did not bring any concrete plans to the table.
Yes.
And they said that they wanted to raise these problems, open it up for conversation, discussion. But the problem is when you just open it up to general discussion, what we've seen in the last year is that nothing happens.
Yes.
Usually the preferred plan is for government to bring some kind of a plan to the table, and then the ruling party, opposition party, the general public can argue over the plans, and then hopefully we'll get something.
Yes.
But just leaving it off to the discussion really didn't do much except maybe made people more nervous about the future. And then came the martial law declaration, and I don't think we're going to have anything further discussion along the reforms for the moment.
Yes. And as we wrap up our discussion today, I do want to look ahead to 2025 as we transition to next year. In summary, if you can tell us what your predictions for the Korean economy might look like.
Okay, well, so much is going to depend on how long this political turmoil lasts. Economy, the both financial side and the real side, they really don't like uncertainty. And right now, politicians seem to be leading us toward more uncertainty rather than less.
Yes.
So nothing's going to get solved until the uncertainty is resolved. And we don't know when that's going to be. If we had, I think, really good politicians, they would do everything they can to at least try to make things more clear, transparent. But right now, things seems to be getting murkier and murkier, and that's not going to stop until the impeachment hearings or impeachment trials, and maybe even the new elections.
Yes.
And then the Trump uncertainty has to be cleared out, and that's not going to happen until at least January, late January or even March, when Trump's new government brings concrete plans, including the concrete tariff rates, to the table. And then after that, we can start the process of perhaps recovery. Probably won't be able to depend so much on exports if even part of what Trump has announced comes true.
Yes.
So we will have to concentrate more on domestic economy. And Korea hasn't really done a lot of that in the past because we've been depending on exports as engine of growth.
Yes.
But with the new the Trump world government, we may have to start looking at domestic economy as an engine of growth rather than exports because Trump's tariffs will not only affect Korea's exports to the United States, but Korea's exports to China as well because a lot of what we export to China are intermediate parts, which in turn China turns into exports to United States and elsewhere.
Yes, well, we have so many challenges ahead of us as we wrap up this year and we look ahead to next year as well. But thank you so much for your insight and your expert advice for our listeners. Thank you, Professor. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Once again, this was Professor Yang Jun-suk, and we had a look back on 2024, at least economically, and of course, looking a little bit ahead into the next year as well. We are going to take a short song break, so here it is. This is Best Years of Our Lives by Baha Men.
And treat me like a Notre Dame, that's why I had to keep my shine on. I break a little something to keep my mind on. Cause you had my mind gone. Turn the lights on, come on baby, let's just rewind the song. Cause all I wanna do is make the rest dance, the best dance all night long.
Get your local up-to-date news from Korea and abroad right here on Morning Wave in Busan with Catherine. Stay tuned.
It is time for the winter edition of Casey and Foreign Press Highlights.
Oh,
How are
well,
you?
it's actually good morning or is it good afternoon? It's still morning?
Morning.
I woke up a little later today.
Did you like it? Don't get used to it. You only have 4 weeks.
I know.
Okay.
Then I didn't like it.
Right.
Felt something was wrong. The sun's already up. What's going on?
Right. So our producer says you look pretty.
What?
피부가 더 좋아 보이네요. 라고 하네요.
Because I slept
well?
more? I slept 4 hours. Less than normal because I was grading last night till 2 a.m.
지금 성적 입력 시기라서 저는 다 했어요. I'm done. Sorry.
좋겠네.
뭐라고요?
좋겠네요. 좋겠네.
Okay, let's just stop there because it's sounding a little
Sounding not good?
Yeah, not good.
죄송합니다.
네, 살짝 좀 불안했습니다.
알겠습니다.
So we're gonna get into. I want to give you all the time I can. So we're gonna get into Foreign Press highlights. What do you have for us?
All right. Well, we're going to start with this week was full of interesting stories, but I'm just going to go with 2 today because they are so interesting to me and involved, but about kind of similar topics, I guess.
What's it about?
The first one is from the New York Times, and it's called My K-Drama Pilgrimage. Privilege.
Can you say that over again? Slow down.
I'm not used to being awake this late.
Okay. What is it again? One more time.
So My K-Drama Pilgrimage.
Are you okay?
No. Chetum.
Okay.
So this is one of have you noticed like a lot of like the New York Times or some other kind of big name publications, especially like from the UK, the US, they have these kind of like GIFs that, or you say GIF? I go GIF, I don't know.
I looked on the internet.
Yeah.
People are still split on the GIF.
Even the originators, I think it's called a GIF.
I know.
But they have kind of like a video clip that will cycle through at the very top of it. And this one features like only international tourists in hanbok, like shuffling through, I guess near Gyeongbukgung, like that area. And they got their hands like folded nicely.
Like
it's very cute.
Yes.
So it kind of gives you a preview of like what the article's about, except there's like way much more to it. Mm-hmm. Probably because it was written by an author. So it's like a guest piece, I imagine.
Okay.
So it's all about her family history, about little points in South Korean history as well. But the whole main crux of the article is that she finally got to come to Korea to experience what she wanted to because of K-dramas.
K-dramas.
Therefore, the title is My K-Drama Pilgrimage. Her parents were actually born in North Korea.
Oh.
And she said, like, Korea was something like her family did not talk about. She was raised in Minnesota, one of 4 kids that were born in the U.S.
Okay.
And she said, like, it was just like Korean history, Korean anything that was never brought up in their household.
Wait. So her parents are from North Korea.
Right. Escaped to the U.S. eventually.
They went to the U.S., not even to South Korea. Oh, interesting.
Right. And I don't think she explained that in the article, but she said, like, she never really kind of understood about Korean history until she kind of pieced together by herself. It was like her own effort that did it. She became a novelist. She became a Fulbright scholar and had the opportunity to study in Seoul here. Yeah, impressive person.
Yes.
Also, she uses impressive vocabulary I won't force upon us. But so basically, like throughout her life, she was trying to reconnect with Korean culture and Korean history, and she had to do it on her own. And then she was like, I just wish there was a tour that provided food and sightseeing, but also kind of an opportunity to find some personal connection. And she says K-dramas came to her rescue.
Wow.
And I was curious about this. Did you actually ever watch K-dramas before you came to Korea?
Not like all of them, but I remember going to, like, there was a local video store.
Oh, okay.
Like you go
in LA?
Yeah, in LA. Like we didn't live in LA. We lived in the suburbs of LA. And then so we had to drive into K-Town to do our like Korean food shopping.
Was it far for you?
It was like almost an hour.
So like five miles away, but it took an hour to get there.
And then so we would go for our weekly Korean food shopping. And right next door there was a 비디오 가게.
Oh,
Yeah,
K-Town is like if you haven't been, it's like being in Korea for a small section of LA, right?
And then like I one I really remember is that what was the one with Hyunbin and Kim Samsun something?
Oh, I can't help you there, girl.
The i름은 Kim Samsun. I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, I did watch like some of the really, really most popular ones.
Okay, yes. And I think that's her point too. Is she did too. She gives the New York Times readers the proper name from. I never heard this. Yeonsokguk. Is that what K-dramas? That's okay.
Yes.
So she introduces this kind of world to the readers of the New York Times, and she says like the shows were basically for people who are a little bit older, staying at home, and it was like uncommon for her. She was in her 30s at the time when she was watching them, but she said the acting was so emotive that her language skills kind of lacking, it made up for that.
Yes.
So with minimal language comprehension, she could get what's going on, and then streaming came along and everything changed.
Oh yeah, that changed everything.
And she gives like a brief overview of that. Basically, Squid Game success, all that, the success of other shows like Attorney Extraordinary Attorney. What is that? The English title is so long. You know what I'm talking about.
The Extraordinary Attorney.
Ooh, yeah, right. So she mentions that. Yeah.
Are you okay this morning?
It's in there. It's in there.
Okay.
It's in there.
Yeah.
But basically, her main point is that streaming changed the game completely for K-dramas. They say on one very well-known subscription service, more than 80% of the subscribers worldwide have watched Korean content.
Wow. That's pretty astounding.
And what that has done is the number of people watching these shows has driven tourism here. So there's like official tourism organizations that have jumped on that game. According to the Korean Tourism Organization, 1.08 million U.S. tourists visited Korea in 2023, up from a pre-pandemic amount of 1.04 million in 2019. So it's more than it was. Yes, which is surprising.
That's definitely. So, I mean, is this only because of K Entertainment?
No, definitely the government is assisting this. There's a push from the government as well. They mentioned, like featuring celebrities from Squid Game or BTS, kind of promoting Korean tourism.
Yes.
But also, like, there's some like mom and pop tour groups that have popped up, and that's the one she joined.
Oh, really?
It was an 8-day Seoul to Busan tour called Meet You in Korea.
Oh.
And it was organized by somebody who just became popular on Insta. Her name is Jeannie Chang. Chang, probably, Jeannie Chang. And her big focus on K-dramas is how, like, mental health issues are, kind of talked about a lot. I was like, really?
Wow.
Okay, I guess so.
Okay.
So
it's a niche market. Okay.
Yeah, she said she basically took a family trip to Korea and then got so much attention on Insta about it.
Yes.
People were like, hey, can you arrange this for us? And she was like, okay.
I see.
So the writer of the New York Times article ended up joining 18 other K-drama superfans in 2023 to come here. People from the U.S., from Canada, from Malaysia. And she says the amount of knowledge that they had about K-dramas astounded her.
Oh, really?
Her knowledge was from 20 years ago. And they had spreadsheets on their phones about, the hundreds of shows they watch, plan to watch. She was just like, oh, wow, this is a thing.
This is serious.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a fascinating article and like kind of look into what K-dramas have brought about here.
That's from the New York Times. But
Yeah.
you mentioned another one.
Yeah, have we got time?
Yes.
All right. The other one also related to K-entertainment, but a very different direction.
Yes.
This is from NPR, and it's about K-pop's uncertain English language future.
Oh.
And
about?
well, the kind of the tag question at the beginning kind of says it all. When the stars of Korea's exploding pop market start directly courting American listeners, is it even K-pop anymore?
Good question. Is it?
According to the article, it's kind of a weird history. I learned a lot about K-pop that I just never knew. Surprise, surprise. Is it rosé?
Yes. What did you call it before? Rose?
Probably rose. I mean, what am I, French? I can't read that E. So one thing they mention is that there's a lot of success this year, specifically in the United States from K-pop artists.
Yes.
Earlier this month, the Blackpink member Rosé and the girl group Twice, is it TWI?
Twice.
Thank you. Two of the big figures in the genre released new English language music on the same day. One of them featuring famously Bruno Mars, the other one featuring famously Megan Thee Stallion.
Oh.
And they've both released music in English before.
Yes.
But what they say in the article, and this article is a little dense, it's a lot of history, a lot of language. What's notable this time is the seamlessness of the imitation of American music.
Sure.
With many tracks feeling as though they could slide undetected into the American top 40.
Oh.
In other words, have they lost their K-popness?
Oh, that's a good question. Like, when does it, when do you cross over from K-pop to just pop?
Right.
Right?
Yeah, and the kind of one of the points of the article is like, has this been the goal all along? Like unintentionally or
Yes.
very intentionally? They say basically like the hits that are coming out now are kind of a little bit predictable or a little sedate as compared to, previous K-pop successes. And if you're a lover of the form, as this writer says, the effect is both impressive but also a little unsettling.
Okay.
Yeah, so a very interesting article. They basically talk about how the success of 3 K-pop albums were in the top 10 of the Billboard 200 for the first time ever this year.
Yes.
And we're going to see a lot more of this kind of thing, I think.
I agree. So I don't know.
But will it be K-pop, though, is the question.
I think we're going to have to kind of decide for ourselves if we're going to classify that as K-pop or it's just more just general pop.
Right.
Is there a need for the distinction?
Well, good question. Like, is it special anyway? That's kind of a point of the article. Is like K-pop became known for its K-popness.
Yes.
Which is hard to define, but when you remove that specialness from it, what is it anymore? And should it be only Korean then?
Right, and then the whole idea of like having those groups that are kind of backed by the Korean K-pop industry. However, the members are, if none of them are Korean, are they K-pop?
They do mention that as well. And they mentioned that's kind of been a plan from specifically BTS's label.
Yes.
Has kind of broadened to selecting people specifically from other places. Even Rosé, for example, you know, she was raised in Australia. She's ethnically Korean.
Yeah.
But was it purposeful to actually pick her from being outside Korea?
Of course, because like they need an English, they want people of the group speaking English.
Right,
they want
fluency,
to
I guess, right? It's
wider audiences. You know, if you speak Japanese, that's another plus.
Right.
If you speak Chinese, all the better.
Right.
Because, you know, ultimately, money.
Yeah, that's a big point in the article as well.
Let's be honest.
But also, they say like K-pop does have its roots in American pop music of specifically the 1980s, 1990s. Do you know the producer Teddy Riley?
Teddy Riley.
New Jack Swing, that kind of R&B.
Yeah.
Okay. So he actually was a producer that came over here early in the 2000s. They sought him out.
Wow.
You know, they wanted his sound. Like he worked with, let's see, FX, EXO, Girls' Generation. And a lot of this I also trace back to 1992. Saw Taeji and the Boys' song 난 알아요.
Oh, okay.
알아요?
Yes, 알아요.
넌 알아요? 알아요.
너는 알아요?
재미없어요?
재미없어요. 아재 개그.
죄송합니다. But yeah, it's really fascinating.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Thank you. We will check those stories out and Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah. Next time I see you, it'll be 2025? All right. See you in the future.
Yes, and people are loving the blue on you. So cute with your lack of K-pop knowledge, etc., etc. So
lack of? I Teddy Riley.
Bye, Casey.
Bye.
Well, we're going to play this song just for Casey.
Oh, 진짜요?
난 알아요 by 서태지. So enjoy. Bye, everybody. Join us Monday.
흐르면 누군가가 나를 떠나버려야 한다는 그 사실을 그 이유를 이제는 나도 알 수가 있어요. 사랑을 한다는 말을 못했어. 어쨌거나 지금은 너무 늦어버렸어. 그때 나는 무엇 하고 있었나. 그 미소는 너무 아름다웠어. 난 정말 그대만을 좋아했어. 나에게 이런 슬픔 안겨주는 그대여. 제발 이별만은 말하지 말아요. 나에겐 오직 그대만이 전부였잖아. 그대여 걷지 마세요. 날 정말 떠나가요. 그대여 걷지 마세요. 날 지금 울잖아요. 난 알아요. 이 밤이 흐르면 그대 떠나는 모습 필요하고 마지막 키스의 슬픈 마음 정말